Here's Carr. He's going to air one out. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. Touchdown, Houston. Touchdown on the year. And the Texans on just 2 plays have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receiver. Actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there with a lucky up. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've got
Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Going deep this time for Miller. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Houston. And they go play action with Favre. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown. A big play there. As the first. And this one looks good. Throwing his car on 3rd down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it is good. He's
their last points of the game.
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Texans, it's a 4th win of the campaign as they get to 4-10 on the year. And they will get another road test next week as they head to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota this afternoon. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally.
Found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And it's kick halftime, so they can try to put something together if they want. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown! Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Man, we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A
lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking...
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown. Final seconds of the first half. And the Bucs are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
I might come right back at him with the same play, the same set, and see if...
Touchdown, Vikings. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them 3 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And it tighter. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal with a 2-point conversion. Fitzpatrick to throw. That's caught at the 2. But he will not.
Everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground. But both really... Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back to throw. Bledsoe. And this This is caught for a Bills touchdown. A great touchdown of the season, and the Bills have taken the early lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points. Looking to throw on second down. Bledsoe escaping the pressure right. That's going to be caught by Reed for a Bills touchdown. Here, and the Bills will add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. In the final, and the Jets are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the third quarter. Another big play right there. Quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Looking deep downfield. That is caught by Moss. He's got a Jets touchdown. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the
On first and goal. Back to throw. Bledsoe. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. On the year. And the Bills have taken the lead. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been.
Next year, they're going to jump that number up a little bit higher.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on E. The football, and the Jags grab it. Back to throw here. Escaping the pressure. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. On the season, and the Jags have taken the... They'll look to throw here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Here. And the Jaguars are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. And down near the goal from the gun, Rivers. This is caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the a nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play.
From the red zone now, Rivers. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
Make a play himself, as we just saw there. That's a big day.
And he's got his big tight end here. And it's a Titans touchdown. He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Larry Fitzgerald here. And the Jags are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for it.
But now, kick the field goal. Get the lead. Let your defense bring.
4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger.
It's a slight lift as they move to 6-8 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Here's McNabb. Escaping the pressure right. And it's caught. Touchdown, Eagles. Ricky Seals-Jones taking the early lead.
In terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But here,
and he'll take it into the end zone with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are within an extra punt of the field. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And this one is right.
Certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding opens.
Again, they'll run it. Again, it Sproles. And he'll take it into the Eagles. Take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. In a big spot here from the left hash. This from 37. And they'll try and run it now with Sproles. And he's across for the lead on this game. Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there.
Wasn't one, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan.
It's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's McNair. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Forward here this afternoon. Good bounce back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end. They'll look to throw again. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And all the way here with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are on the board here in the final minute of the first. To bring up second and 11. Now McNair. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught. Touchdown Dolphins. A big play. And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this, see the rush? It was time to make a break for it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Sales because they had it going pretty good last time, too. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way.
Second down, but they are in field goal range. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Ryan the season. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock and I'm looking it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Baltimore, they get back to 500 now with the loss. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. Touchdown! That's caught at the 2. On the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Brady. And that's going to be caught. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. A sensational one-handed yard line. On 2nd and goal, Brady. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A great effort there as the first down. And the Patriots have taken the lead. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, all right, Brandon, it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, you control the clock and impose your will on the defense.
And that's going to be caught for the Patriot touchdown. His first career NFL touchdown. And the Patriots take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter. And this one is right off the play fake. Gannon. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. Now on the year. And the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. I'm not sure there. You're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And
what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line. This was that type of a game.
So for the Pats, the final 3 weeks are going to tell the story as they move to 9-5 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. Out at 8. Back to throw. Johnson. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Opening drive. Right off the bat, they start with a very solid, methodical 10-play drive.
And you know me, I tend to look at things from...
He'll drop to throw. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he takes this one back from the left hash. This from 53 yards out. And this is good. It was running
to set up 1st and goal.
They'll try the ground game with Jackson. And he'll take it in his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will add on to the 10. Now back to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 30. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's going to let this one go deep. And got his man complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. And the Saints are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Well, with that touchdown pass, summing up a point from earlier in the year, some of the fans were saying...
In mini camps, for these situations, these scenarios...
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score.
Sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Saints, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody. His kick here is flushed out right. And that is caught. Touchdown. Indianapolis. Here, and the Colts are able to grow their lead.
In a very familiar sight, T.O. in the end zone. How about in 3 different seasons he led the NFL in receiving touchdowns, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window he fired. And he's got his target. It's caught. The game giving him 12 on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And he's having a nice little first.
Do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect down.
5. One final try now for Manning. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play. And they'll run again. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive.
Give up a touchdown here. That'll make things really difficult for their offense.
And that is caught. Touchdown.
In a cloud of dust, not the strategy.
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going...
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A great, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite... He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Terrell Owens. Palmer will throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals.
11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Colts, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. And it is.
And let's us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about see.
Do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
You want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of the offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Lions, the win gets them to 5-9 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets.
Teammates out on the perimeter, you can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. First down. Back to throw. The quick slant caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Is winding down. And the Falcons have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
They're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown. Panthers have taken the lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, an unexpected 4th down here.
And his kick. They'll run it it with Johnson. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Afternoon. And the Panthers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they down. They're going for it. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown. Proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little to go for two here. They're going to keep it on the ground. And
division game on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
The Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. And it's complete. In the end zone.
Setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Back to throw. Ramsey escaping the pressure. And he coughed it up. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there. Yeah. From the gun, Ramsey. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. A great play there. As Washington has made this a one-score game. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball.
Touchdown, Washington. A big play there, dude. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. I don't think you can get any more efficient. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. 49ers have now taken the lead.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is into the end zone for a Washington. Out of the game, number 7 on the year. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Call just about what you want.
Flushed out right. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown. And they've broken our tie here in the final.
These my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown.
Barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get up in the final minute.
The receivers have been running them ragged. Maybe some tired legs in the secondary. Maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him. And look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the...
Places to make things difficult. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Able to get there and
accomplish. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that
moves them to 7-7. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Washington, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone out on the year. And the Rams take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Downs here so far. And the Rams add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going.
Now Jones. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. And throwing Vic. Letting one go deep for the end zone. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown to the first half. And the Cardinals have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. From the gun, Vic. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown. Shots.
On 1st and 10, Warner. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Touchdown, Rams. Marcus Wheaton, his 3rd time here. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Yes, it was a touchdown, and not just the offensive guy. He's in sync. Everything's working pretty well for the defensive
What's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well.
Taking it right down Broadway.
Bring in the second spring.
Touchdown, Cardinals. Devontae Adams, his 2nd tune. And the Cards strike quickly to take the lead here in the 4th. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football over the defensive end.
But you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses in...
Oh, no, he lost the football. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way.
No matter what, whether he's running it in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown here. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defenses go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And it is caught. They got the 2 points.
Going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make every...
A contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner.
With that touchdown this late in the contest, I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right, they got Vic to throw. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good. And they
wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Cardinals, they get back to 500 now as they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head.
And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. And on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another sticks in his pocket.
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all...
There he goes, left side. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Giants. A good yards. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Game. Now Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown here. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. A nice unit to see about getting 3 points. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise.
Hammer position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York here. And the Giants add on to their lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for the...
It's back onto the field. And I guess right now as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that...
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Flush to his right. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. Good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. There. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have made it a 1-score game again here in the fourth.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But
Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Love the excitement.
Review, so they had it right. Now it's Roethlisberger. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to...
That's radiating out of there right now. They're talking about belief, sticking together, and finding a way to win.
So for Pittsburgh, they get Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Giants, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Back hit a lot that way, too.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And he'll return it to the...
And set up 1st and goal.
Rodgers to throw once more. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. It's their quarterback as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in the first half. That touchdown, Charles, the first rushing. Back to throw. Pennington escaping the pressure right. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Not in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And this is caught by Gates. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead.
So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch.
You close the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football. All the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance.
Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
And a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some. Everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs take it right. Now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, A lot of teams like to
On first and goal.
and if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big
Touchdown, Broncos. A great effort there. With a lucky number 30. Third and goal from the one. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he takes this into the end zone, his third on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
opportune times that led to their demise.
Escaping the pressure right. Touchdown! A great effort there. As the first half is final seconds of the half. Chiefs.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just help receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you.
And it's second and goal as they look to grab a late lick. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Taking it in from a broken the tie.
Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had
And the 12-year veteran.
That would be their last points of the game.
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was...
And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.